So let's talk a little bit about contrast of colors on lures and when and why you should use lures that have some contrast to them, whether it be lures that have contrast on the lure itself or a just specific lure color that contrasts with the surroundings, you know, the background, the bottom, the grass, and things like that. Now, right off the bat, you look at a lure like this. This is our 5-inch Mulligan Bomber in the Arkansas Shiner color. You look at this lure and you say, okay, well, it looks like a baitfish. That's why fish want to go after it. But in reality, those contrasting colors can help that fish dial in on that lure because fish can see contrast really well underwater. That's why a lot of their food items, you know, baitfish, shrimp, crabs, and all those prey items, they have the ability to blend in with their surroundings, which makes it harder for those fish to find them. So it's really common sense, but a lot of people don't think about it, too in depth. They just think, oh, well, it looks like a bait fish. Those fish should go after it. So for example, if you're fishing in really clean water that has sandy bottom, if you use something that is just straight up white, one color, it could be harder for those fish to see it. If you go with something that's very similar, you know, it's got that white belly, but it has that darker bottom, that contrast there, those fish can see that much better when, you know, the water clarity and also the bottom is very similar, very clean and clear. Now, if I was fishing that same type of water, you know, clean water, but the bottom maybe is muddy or the bottom has a lot of grass and, you know, sort of like a camouflage pattern to it, then I would go with something that's a solid, more of a white color, such as the Slam Shady color, because that color will sort of stand out from that background and those fish can dial in on that lure. And then another thing with lure color when it comes to contrast, let's say you're fishing a school of baitfish that are this color. I would avoid throwing this color because it's going to blend in with the rest of the baitfish. You know, those fish can't really see it stand out from the crowd. So in that case, I might throw something that has either a different color back or a solid darker color or something different than the surrounding bait in the area. That way those fish can dial in on that lure instead of all the other bait fish that are around. So hopefully that gives a little bit of a better understanding of lure contrast. Again, when you see a lure with two colors on it, normally it would imitate a bait fish, but you have to actually understand what the fish are seeing is that contrast to help dial in on that bait. So if you need any lures, head over to fishstrong.com. We sell these, our 5-inch Mulligan Bomber, in addition to a ton of other lures, tackle, and gear to get you out there and get on some fish. And if you're one of our insider members, be sure to take advantage of those discounts on all tackle and gear. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them down below.